Hey folks, hi, this is Gigi. Hope you're all doing well. We are getting ready to drop a little bit of money. I'm not going to be using my Gigi and a budget binder. We're actually going to be dropping just a little bit of money, but you know, consistency is the winner here. The more you stay consistent, the more you're apt to save a lot more money. So, I'm going to save a little bit of money here. And also, Gigi's thinking about being unretired. I
Really?
think that's what they call it now, unretired. We'll talk about that. But let's go ahead and drop some money first, okay? All right, here we go. And of course, today, Big Dog's my stepdaughter Tracy, when they were here when she was here for the holiday, she brought some cans of espresso martini in cans. So we're gonna indulge in that. So, okay, folks, salute. Here we go. Not bad. Of course, I had to hack it up a little bit. I threw a little bit of Kahlua chocolate sip in there, and I put some cold foam on top. Now, because right out of the can, it's like, ooh, it's a little hard for Gigi. So I had to soften it a little bit. I'm still trying to, oh, there I am. There I am. That's better now. So anyway, we're going to drop a little bit of money, and we'll talk about Gigi becoming unretired. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, let's go ahead. We're using my Ultimate Savings Challenge book. Here we go. Can I back this up a little bit before it gets all kind of weird on me? Okay, there we go. All right. I'm trying to be, get everything in its place. Make sure my picture's fine. We're going to be dropping $12 today. Next week we'll be back on track. We're still getting over the holidays. But next week we'll get back on track as far as, dropping some money into some of our other challenges. But I wanted to make sure we were still saving money. And we're saving $12 today. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So let's go ahead. Color all the little piggies. So how's everybody's week's been going? Can you believe, today's Friday. I think it's the 16th. It just continues to fly by. So what, we have 340 days left in this year. That's right, baby. You got to keep track of your time, because you know what? It just gets away from all of us. My teddy right here, if I remember correctly, I believe she's turning 10 months. Yeah, because in March she becomes a year. She becomes a year, and my Morgan becomes 2 years, and my Charlie will be turning 7. Oh my gosh. My Charlie, 7 years old. She's a big girl. But she's a big girl now, but she's even bigger. You know what I mean? The time just goes by us. And we can't slow it down, because no matter what, it's just going to get away from us. But the thing is, we got to be mindful about it. We got to be aware of what we're doing with our time. And not just let it, dwindle away, just like money. Oops. Just like our money. Time and money are very similar, and they're our most important assets. But the thing is, time you can't get back. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 8. Sometimes you can get money back. Sometimes you can rebuild it. But time? Bah. No mas. No more. All gone. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Because I think when I was talking to you folks last week, talked about the need to get a new vehicle. And I really don't want a big car payment. I know we're going to land with some type of car payment. I just don't want a real big one. So that's one of the reasons why Gigi's going to be unretired. But what I found was interesting is that apparently this is not unusual nowadays. Is that right? Yep. There's $12. I'll put this on the envelope after. And that's it for a savings challenge for today as far as dropping money. Next week, I'm hoping to be back on track. So we'll be dropping money, especially for our smile money, and also some of the other challenges that I have going on as well. But let's go ahead and start to chat about Gigi becoming unretired. Here we go. Hey, folks. Thanks for hanging out here. So As I just mentioned a little bit ago, I heard this new term, unretired. Hmm. I thought that was kind of interesting because really Gigi's looking to be unretired as well. I spoke last week about me and Big Dog were looking to get another vehicle. And once I know eventually we're going to need to get one. Uh, I'm thinking sometime this year. The truck has a whole lot of miles on it, and I don't really want to have a large car payment because they're so expensive, especially when you get a truck or a van. Cheers, folks. That is not bad. So anyway, I thought I talked to him and I told him I think I want to get a job. It's going to help us with getting the vehicle. If we have to get on a credit, get a good rate on the vehicle, and also start saving up for a solid down payment. So that's how came to the decision that I was going to go back to work. And I did have my first face-to-face interview this week, which I think went well. But you never know because it's a process. They got to go through their things, and I'm not going to say any more about that other than that I think it went well. I'm thinking I probably won't hear anything for a couple of weeks because I know they were still continuing to interview people this week, and I believe possibly next week as well. But anyway, as I was looking through YouTube, I came across this gal that was talking about people that were becoming unretired. I said, what? So, what I found, one of the first stats that she threw out there was that 20% of the workforce right now is over 65. Really? And then it got me thinking about there's certain passages that we go through in life. There was a book many, many years ago, I think in the 1970s, 1980s, about the passages. You're born, your baby, or an infant, or a toddler, preschooler, kindergarten, elementary school. You go through all these different stages of life. And then at the very end of it is retirement and golden years, and you're dead. Something like that. But I started thinking, it's like, who really says that's what we're supposed to do? Why can't we mix it up and it be different? And that's kind of what this gal was talking about. If I come across that clip again, I'll go ahead and put it below in the comments. Because the reason why I stopped working now, I'm always mindful of the fact that Big Dog's 10 years older than me. That's always something that's like right here behind the back of my head. And he was done. But his work situation, when he became retired, he was just done. I mean, he retired sooner than we were planning or I was expecting him to. He was just done. He just could not do it anymore. So, okay. Where with me, when I stated that I was going to retire, I was office manager of the funeral home, a very busy funeral home, and it was through the pandemic, through COVID. And I think I got to the point after 2 years of dealing with the COVID and the pandemic and a very, very heavy, very, very busy office. And mind you, there were 3 locations, a cemetery, 3 funeral homes, and 2 crematories. A very busy office. I think I was just done. I just felt that I didn't want to do it again. I didn't want to go through another year of what I had gone through the past 2 years. And I could see that not much was changing aside that we didn't have to wear masks anymore. That's what I saw. And I just felt I just needed a reset. Now, what was good when I did that is that I was able to help my folks. As I've stated before, my dad had dementia, Alzheimer's. My dad was, when he passed, I believe he was 91. I believe he had just turned 91. My mom was 84, 83, 84. She just turned 85. And I was able to help my folks during the process, as far as his later lives, being able to be there, be able to help wherever I can. So that was a good thing, so to speak, in regards to be off all this time. Did a little bit of traveling, able to see my babies, my baby girls, and, my kids, of course. But now that when I made the decision or when I told Big Dog this is what I think I want to do in order for us to accomplish this goal, I didn't see it as, oh, I gotta go back to work. It wasn't like that. It was like, wow, okay, so let me see what's out there. Because I felt and I've always found that my skills have always been pretty transferable. Because it's administrative support, office management. I'm not looking for a management position. I don't need that. I just want something that I can help people. I can provide a service because I still have my wits about me. I think I can still do something. And administrative support is my strong suit. And if it's an environment, whether or not it's social services or for profit or nonprofit, I've worked in those different environments as well. So I feel good about that. It's just, going through the process. I think I had mentioned earlier that I was offered, because I've really started thinking about this like the end of last year, and I actually started applying. But at that time I was looking for primarily just remote. But as time goes by, I'm losing time to save that money. And because now, we're in the middle of January, and I was hoping to have something beginning of the year. So I had started, I believe November, because I got offered a job very quickly. But the difference with that job, it was going to be remote, and that's what I was looking for: remote, hybrid, part time, uh, full time. Now I'm opening my options to on site full time. But when I got that job offer, that was going to be, hold on one second. That was going to be a remote. Um, but once I was offered the job, I saw that my schedule at that time was not going to be conducive to what needed to be done. So I had to decline that. But it was nice to know. And not only that, it was a Zoom interview. I only talked to them a couple times on the phone, did a Zoom, answered all kinds of questions. And it wasn't that I was even speaking to any, like having a Zoom call. It was just basically a video, answering questions, and then it went off to whoever reviewed it. And that's when I was offered the position. But after looking at my calendar and what was going on that time of year, I told them that I had to decline. I told them that I would reach out to them after the beginning of the year. I haven't done that yet. I'm not quite sure why. you know, I don't know whether they even have a position open. But anyway, it just felt good to know that I could still get a job, I could still provide a service, and that somebody was still interested in me doing something. So that was nice to know. And then when I got this interview, just being able to be engaged and talking to these the staff or this team, and it felt good that I could do this. When they were telling me what the job is, I'm thinking I could do this. Yeah, I like I took up my wits about me. I could do this kind of stuff. So so as I started to think about it, this unretirement when I saw that clip about unretirement, I was surprised to learn that, and I'm not. I think maybe this clip maybe is a couple years old. So let's see, it was 2023, 2024. The stat that she threw out there was 20% of the workforce is over 65. What? That's almost a quarter of the workforce is over 65? So then it got me thinking, it's like, so why do we retire? If there's this many of us out there that are going back to work, why are we retiring? Or why is there an expectation that we're going to retire? And I think I'm looking at my brother's getting ready to retire in March. He's been a UPS driver, long haul, for many, 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 many years. That's his first job. And really, aside from jobs he had when he was a teenager, when he was 18, he was still going to high school, and he was a sorter for UPS. That's how long he's been working at UPS. And UPS has provided for him and his family very, very well. And he got to the point that he was doing long haul driving, across state lines. But he's never been home. So this is going to be a real transition for him and his wife and his family. But, thinking about that, I mean, he's done long hours, a lot of days. And that catches up with your body to some degree. And so him retiring, I think it's due. He needs to do that. His body's telling him, hey man, you got to slow down. So I'm excited for him, and I'm happy for him that he's at a point that he can do that. You know, Big Dog, he was done. Put a fork in him. He wasn't going back no more. And then when I look at the circumstances as to why I retired, I think I just was done with that particular situation. And I've told Big Dog, I think if it wasn't for COVID, I may have worked for another year, 2 years, because it was just so draining. And I think I just needed to slow down a little bit, you know, uh, take some, just get some peace of mind and try to, spend some time with my family and be mindful of my health. And after many years of just showing up and working for somebody else, I wanted to try to I just needed to breathe. And I think that's really what I needed to do at that time. And now, having done all that and having been here for my folks and the time that I've had off, it's like a reset for me. It's like, okay, let's see what's out there. And I think that's kind of what's happening to a lot of people out there when they decide they're going to become unretired. They say like, okay, so what are we going to do? And I think one of the things I've spoken about before on my channel is that finding routine has been very difficult for me. Look, I'm not saying I'm not busy. I'm busy. Between my appointments, Big Dog's appointments, things we got going on, my mom's stuff, you know, I'm busy. My YouTube channel here, Unfiltered, Gigi Unfiltered, my YouTube channel for my girls, reading time with Gigi, photography, going to school. It's not like I'm not busy. My gardening, hey, look, I got some tomatoes now. It's not like I'm not busy, but I think I don't know, I was trying to, I'm at a loss. Is it because of a routine or a set schedule? What is it that I feel that I'm still needing or missing, or I'm not quite sure what it is. But I do know when I started talking about, like after that interview, I felt good about after that interview. Like, oh yeah, I could do that. Uh, I was excited about the possibilities, and I think that's what it was. The possibilities. I've always been excited about change. That's why I think one of the some people see change like, oh my gosh, change. I've never really seen change that way. I've always seen it as possibilities. Like, what's out there? What are we gonna do? Where are we gonna go? And I think that's one reason why I do like traveling. I wish that we were able to travel more. Eventually, we will. But it's like, what's the next thing around the bend? I think that's one of the things they do like about traveling, taking road trips. But this year we didn't do a lot of that because our focus was trying to get Big Dog's dental issues taken care of. And we're almost, in fact, I think today he's actually going to go get fitted for his real set. So that's been a long time coming. So that's basically where we were throwing all our extra funds. I mean, saved over $9,000. I mean, I'm very proud of that we were able to do that. It was a 10. I'm hoping for 10 this year, but over 9 grand, and the bulk of that went to our dental bill, not just his, primarily his, but mine as well. But to be able to do that, so that's why we didn't really do a lot of traveling, mainly just go see our family, our kids. But even then, I was able to get to Texas. Went back east. I saw my sister in Colorado, so I did a little bit, which I enjoy. I thoroughly enjoy traveling, getting out of your environment, seeing new things, new people, new sights. I enjoy that. I really do. Aside from a good drink, just saying. But anyway, I thought this unretired phase that they're saying that a lot of people are going through, they're saying it's not unusual for women to go through it as well. And it's not necessarily for a financial need. It's more like to get out there, purpose, find a routine, making new friends. And also older people feel nowadays they still have a lot to offer. And I think part of that is because of longevity in older people. Like, we're not dying off as soon as we used to. We're living longer lives. Not only are we living longer lives, we're more fit, we're more I don't know, energetic's the right word, but we're more capable, maybe. I don't know. I'm not even sure that's the right word. But we're more willing to take risks, more willing to get out there, and we have a lot to offer. We've got wisdom, we've got knowledge, we've got resilience. There's a lot of things that older people can offer, and to young people as well, that we can learn from. And we're willing, we're more open, we want to be engaged. So I thought it was really kind of interesting. Is that don't think just because you reach a certain age that you don't have a purpose, because really you may have more than you realize of what you have to offer. Willing to contribute, to stay mentally sharp, and to bring some, of course, bring in extra income. That's always a help. And those are all positive things. So don't, like I've said before, do not let your age determine the size of your dream. That's right, baby. Don't do that. But anyway, like I said, I'm thinking that something might happen soon. I hope so. If not, Gigi's going to keep plugging away. But how many of you folks are what they're calling unretired? And if you're becoming unretired, why is that? Why are you becoming unretired? I'd be curious to know. But anyway, we're going to be talking about this because Gigi's going to be unretired. And when Gigi lands something new, I'm going to let you folks know. But I hope you enjoy this. And here's my quote. I'm retired 99.9%. Of course, there's always that 1%. Because sometimes that's all it takes. It's that one little inkling, that 1% can send you in another direction. If you're open, if you're ready to receive, if you're clear, if you're not afraid to take risks, and not afraid for change. Don't limit yourself. Get out there. See what's out there. Whether or not you become unretired or trying something new, your age does not determine who or what you're going to be. It's attitude that determines that. So don't be afraid. Got it? That's my quote. One more time, Michael Jordan. I'm retired 99.9%. Of course, there's always that 1%. Just saying, folks. So anyway, I think that's it for today, folks. You know what Gigi says? Gigi says, tits up. This one's for you. And you working stiffs out there, hang tough. Gigi's got your back. And Gigi may be joining you. All right. Have a good one, folks. See ya. Tits up. We're getting ready. Getting ready at the dance floor. So turn the lights on. You know just what we're here for.